Hello everyone, my name is Vel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to add a little look at ball mechanic that some of you have probably seen me kind of advertise, I guess you could say, on Twitter, and a lot of you are interested in adding it onto your own avatar. So I'm going to show you how you do it. So this is the first thing that you're going to do. You are going to open up your avatar, go to armature, hips, spine, chest, neck, head. You're then going to left click on your right eye bone and shift, or no, sorry, you're going to hold down control, click on the left eye bone so you have them both selected. Click on add component, and what you're going to search for, even though it was already there for me, you're going to add on a look at constraint. Okay, go ahead and put that on. When you have these two both selected, go ahead and check and click on this little plus sign so you add a source, and then actually, believe it or not, turn it off. Again, just for now. What you are then going to do is you are going to go to the VR Labs website, which I'll put in the description, and you're going to get the World Constraint Unity package, and I'll show you where you can get that. So when you're on the GitHub website, you're going to scroll down, go to view all, I don't know how you say that word. Either way, you're going to click on it, and then all these are going to show up. You are going to go down to World Constraint. You're going to get all these little files and whatnot. These you do not want to click on. You want to go to these releases parts. I'm going to go to version 1.2. That's all you need. Go ahead and click on it. And then you're going to download this Unity package right here. Okay? After you have downloaded it, you're going to take that Unity package and drag it into your Unity project. When it asks you about importing, just go ahead and click on import. You're going to go to the VR Labs folder, which will appear here, and then World Constraint. There is going to be two prefabs here that are going to be in this folder. Don't do anything to this one that says world.prefab. You want to use the one that says worldconstraint.prefab. You're going to take that and drag it onto your avatar. When that happens, you're going to get this little cube at the base of your avatar. Okay. Now, you can go ahead and use this cube as your kind of indicator of, oh, my eyes are looking here when it comes to your whole look at ball cube asset that you're making for yourself. I personally like the cube and whatnot. It just seems a little bit more logical, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how you do that. It's pretty simple. You're going to click on the world constraint right here, and I'm going to go ahead and just rename this. I'm going to name it look at ball parent. So that way you know what that is. You're going to right click then on it and unpack prefab. You're going to go to container and you'll have this cube. Click on container, right click on it, go to 3D object, sphere. And now you have a sphere. I'm going to go ahead and delete my cube. So now I have a sphere. At this moment, I am then going to go ahead and scale my sphere down because it doesn't need to be very big. You just need it to where, you know, it's not going to be in the way when you place it down anywhere, but then also big enough so that you can actually see it. All right, that's a pretty good size right there. Now, this reset target, this is going to be very, very important. You're going to go ahead and rename it. Call it reset target ball. Okay. What this does, when you move this, this is the anchor point that when you place the ball, say out in the world or behind your camera, this is where the ball is going to be reset to when you no longer have it placed out in the world. So you want to go ahead and take this anchor and place it right on one of your fingertips. I'm doing the left hand because, well, I'm left-handed. So yeah, that's where I like to have most of my stuff is on my left hand. After you have placed it, you're going to take the reset target ball. You're going to then navigate to your left shoulder or your right, whichever hand you're putting it on, and basically navigate to the hand bone that you want to put it on. You're then going to take it and drag it onto that hand. So then that way it is attached to the hand. So ideally, if you were to say rotate your hand, the ball should rotate with it. Okay? I just controlled Z there, by the way, to reset the rotation of it. So yeah. So now you have added all the things that you need to do in terms of making the animations happen, which we're going to go over next. Oh, actually, there's one more thing. I completely forgot about it. You're going to go to where your left and right eyes are. In the sources part, you're going to take that sphere that's under the container, under your look at ball parent, and put it into the sources, because that is where the eyes are going to look at whenever it has been spawned. All right. When you do that, you're going to test it out, and you're going to click on this look at constraint checkmark box, and then click on is active. Boop. Suddenly, your eyes disappear. That is because they are now currently looking at this ball. So for example, if I were to take this ball, I'm going to move it a little bit forward. But then if I move it in front, hey, look at that. It's tracking. Look at it go. Whee! All right. Control-Z to undo that. Now, when you're in this situation, there's one thing that you have to do. Now that you know that it's working, you're going to go back to your eye bones. Okay? And turn off this component. Now you notice after you turn on this component, your eyes are still looking at the ball because the bones have already been put to rest, as it were, when they were looking at this ball. When that happens, you're going to go to this rotation portion right here of the transforms. Just make them all 0. Boom. Done. Now your eyes are back. And you want to make sure that those are all 0 and whatnot before you click off of it. All right. Now we go to the animations. At least you would go to the animations after you save. Save. Okay? Okay. All right. So now we're going to get into doing animations. This is the method that I like to do it. I'm sure most of you are probably going to say, don't do it this way, do it my way. Well, this is how I do it, and this is my tutorial, so frick you. You're going to go ahead and duplicate your avatar. You're going to hide the main one. You're going to go ahead and click on your duplicate, go to the animation tab here at the bottom, and then click on create. Navigate to where you actually want to save this animation. I'm just going to save it underneath this kind of asset ones and whatnot, probably under the folder where the avatar actually is and whatnot. So this QUs folder. Again, this is where I'm going to save it. You can save it underneath the folder that says animations or something like that. And I'm going to name this Look at Ball On. And you're going to click save. You are then going to have this little timeline right here. Once you have that, you're going to click the little red button right here to start recording. Your avatar is going to sync down. That's okay. This is normal. When that happens, you're going to go ahead and open up your avatar, the duplicate to be exact. You're going to go to your container and you're going to go ahead and toggle off the sphere and then turn it back on. Go to over frame, off, and then back on. You are then going to go to where your bones are for your eyes. So spine, chest, neck, head, left eye, right eye. And then you're going to turn on the look at constraint. And then your eyes should be looking where the ball is. That's what should be happening. Make sure you go over a frame, turn it off, turn it back on again. Now, there's one more thing that you have to add to this animation. And you'll understand later on once we start putting it into your FX layer. You're going to go to container. You're going to turn off and back on this parent constraint. Make sure that's for both frames. Turn it off, turn it back on. Again, make sure it's for both frames. Okay? So there should be 4 things here with check marks that you are turning on. Then what you're going to do is you're going to navigate where you made those animations. Click on the animation itself. Go ahead and turn off loop time. Just good to get it out of the way right now. Go ahead and click on the duplicate avatar. Clear this little controller that's on here. You don't need that right now. And you're going to click on the animation tab again. Click on create. You're going to make another animation called look at ball off. Save. Now, this one is going to be a little bit different. There's going to be something that you're going to include and put on addition, and then some things you're not going to include. So go ahead, click on record. The sphere, you want this toggled off. You want it off. Okay, make sure you make 2 keyframes with it being turned off. You're then going to go to your right eye and left eye bones. Okay, make sure that the look at constraint is off. Okay, you want to make this off. Now you'll notice that for some odd unknown reason, the eyes look like they're reset. However, the toggle is not going to know that. So what you have to do is while this is recording, go to this rotation portion right here and 0 this out. Make sure that these are 0. It's really, really important that you make sure that those are 0, because if you don't make those 0, your eyes are not going to reset properly. And so when you turn off the ball for your recording, your natural animations for your eyes to look around and whatnot will look buggy and they'll be offset. So you want to make sure that you put in these extra transforms for your left and right eye, because if you don't do that, you're going to have a bad time. Right? Again, you can also just duplicate the frames here, just like that. Just make sure that there's 2 frames right here. Go to the animation. Make sure loop time is off. And now you have one more animation to do. Go ahead and get rid of this controller. Animation. Create. You're going to name this look at ball place. This one's going to be probably the simpler ones of the ones that you have created. You're going to go ahead and click on record. You're going to go to the look at ball parent and then click on container. After you do so, you're going to make sure that this is toggled off. Again, make 2 frames of it. Now what this exactly does, when this is toggled on, you notice that the ball follows your hand. See how it's still there? See, it's right there. The ball is still there. However, what this does is when you turn this parent constraint on this container portion off, that is how the ball is then placed out in the world. And then you can go out wherever. And then when you toggle that back on, whoop, goes back to your hand. So yeah, so that's the extra animation that you have to do. That's all. Super simple. But also very important. And after you have made all your animations, you can go ahead and delete your duplicate. Turn on the main avatar. And then move on to that. Nope! What you're going to do is you're going to save. That's what you're going to do. You're going to save before you move on. Okay? Good. Alright, so you have these 3 animations. Oh, Again, make sure that loop time is turned off. You have these 3 animations. Now you're ready to put them into your FX layer. Now, how you find your FX layer, you're going to click on your main avatar. You're going to scroll down to this playable layer portion and click on the FX or whatever is in this FX portion. You're going to click on that. That's going to take you right to your controller. Now, what this controller is that this is all of your toggles, features, animations, all of that jazz. That's what all this is. Okay? What you're going to do is what I like to do anyways is duplicate this. You're going to have it highlighted. You're going to hold down Control and press D. That's going to duplicate this. I then like to rename this as test. That way, if for some odd unknown reason that something goes awry, you at least have the original controller that isn't broken. I'm going to take this FX controller that I have made that says test and put it onto my avatar. Okay? What you are then going to do is you're going to add 2 parameters in the FX layer that you are going to edit. If you notice in this bottom right hand corner, to make sure that you're editing the right controller, it's going to say something something test. For me, it is FX test. You want to make sure that you are editing the right controller. You're going to make sure, after you make sure of that, you're then going to go to the parameters tab right here. You're going to click on the plus sign and you're going to add a bool. You are then going to name this. I'm going to make this, let's make it ball look. Let's put in a space in there because there's way too many L's next to each other, and that bothers me. After you have done that, you're going to add another bool, and you're going to call this ball look place. Okay? You're then going to add a layer. After you've added that layer, you're going to call this look at ball. And all of your toggles and animations are going to be in this layer. Now, what you're going to do is make sure that the weight is 1. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So many people forget about that. Make sure the weight's 1. Okay? Okay. After you do that, you're going to have your layer that says look at ball, which you are then going to edit to say look at ball, because you're trying to look professional even though you're not. You're going to add your off animation first into the layer. You're going to make sure that this is orange and whatnot, because that's going to be the default layer, as it were. Now, depending upon how your avatar works, usually right default is off. That is usually the default of most avatars. You want to make sure that your right default checkbox is off. All right. You are then going to add your look at ball on animation, which will be the gray box. Again, right default's off. And then you're going to put down the place animation like so. Again, right default's off. After you've done that, you're going to add animations that are going to and from these boxes, like so. And we're going to edit the transitions of those. Go to this first transition right here. Has exit time. Turn that off. Transition duration. Make it 0. You're going to have these conditions. Click on the plus sign. You're going to go and change this condition to ball look. You want to make sure that it's true. All right. Now, after you've done that, go to this portion right here where the transitions are. Right click. And you're going to click on copy transition parameters. Click on that. Click on the transmission or the transition coming from this box to this one. Click on it. Right click here. You're going to say paste both. Now, after you have pasted it, this still says true. You want that to be false, because this is going to be the toggle off transition, and then this transition is the toggle on. So think of true being on, false being off. Okay? You're going to do the same thing to these transitions. However, instead of it making it ball look after you've pasted it onto here, you're going to make this ball look place. Again, keep it true. And then you can go ahead, copy this one, paste it onto this transition, make this false. Because again, this is causing the ball to be placed in the world, and then this transition is causing the ball to go back to your hand. This transition allows you to turn off the ball and for the tracking to stop. And then you're going to have this transition to make the tracking turn on. Now there is one more thing that you have to do to these states. Click on the state right here, the orange box. Click on Add Behavior. This is where things get really, really kind of interesting. So really make sure you're paying attention here. You're going to click on VRC Animator Tracking Control. Click on that. When you have this clicked on, you want your eyes and eyelids to start tracking again. So you want to make sure that this box is checked on. Now, you're going to go to this state, add the same thing, but instead of eyelids tracking on, you're going to turn on animation instead. This is going to allow those look at constraints to actually start working. If you don't have this correct, it is not going to work. So make sure that you do this. After that is done, that is the entire layer all set up in terms of this whole animation thing. All right. There's one more thing that you have to do though. You're going to go to your avatar. You're going to add your expression parameter onto this so you can add your toggles. How you find that? Go to your parameters of your expressions drop down when you click on your avatar under its SDK. You can just find it by clicking it on this. Click on here, and you're going to add your two bowls that you made. So you're going to make that look ball. Or did I make it ball look? Ah, I made it ball look. You got to make sure that these are actually the same. Ball look. By the way, case sensitive as well. And also spaces. And then you're going to add ball look place. There you go. Again, make sure that they're bowls. Then what you're going to do is now you have to add them actually to your expression menu. That's that little circular menu and whatnot that, you know, controls all your toggles. So you're going to click on your expression menu. And you're going to have all of these little drop downs. What I am going to do is I'm going to add my own little menu system. I'm going to click on Add Control. It's going to be New Control right here. And I'm going to name this Look at Ball. The type is going to be a sub menu. Parameter is going to be none. And then what you have to do is you have to create a menu. You're going to right click right here, go to create. And I believe it is, oh, it's not here. Hold on. Well, so what you can do instead is you can just take one of your random menus and whatnot, and just duplicate it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and rename this Look at Ball Menu. All right. And you are only going to need 2 different selections. So you can go ahead and delete all of these to where there is just 2. You are going to create one of these as toggle and the other one as place. For the one that says toggle, you want to make sure that this drop down, the type is toggle, and that the parameter is ball look. For place, guess what? Make it toggle, and it's going to be, you guessed right, ball look place. Now, after you have done that, you're going to go back to your expression menu. You're going to take the menu and put it here, because that's going to be the menu that you're going to go to once you open up your expressions menu. And then guess what? That's it. That's all you have to do. Done. You've added a look at ball onto your avatar. So what you're going to do is save, because that's what you're supposed to do. And then you can just upload the avatar. Make it as a build and test, and make sure that it works. Thank you everyone for following my tutorial on how to make a look at eyeball tracker. I really hope that you find it useful for taking your pictures and whatnot for yourself. And I look forward to seeing them, and I'll check you around. Bye-bye.